Hello, my friends. This is Deb Darris, your speaking coach, with a special edition of Deb TV, Dynamic, Empowered, and Bold. And today I am talking about how to book even more speaking engagements, lessons learned from a keynote speaker. I have to tell you, I recently spoke, as you know, in beautiful South Florida. Let's just call it what it is. Hollywood, Hollywood, Florida, at the Margaritaville Resort. Wow, friends. I walk in and it's epic. It's like if you've ever been to the Palazzo in Las Vegas and you just feel epic, but without smoking, gambling, or all of that mess. It's just divine. Caribbean Ocean in the backdrop. Beautiful sun. Humidity that curls your hair. It's, to me, South Florida's heaven. That's why I focus my attention and energy in speaking there. And that's what you can decide to do. One of the things as experts that get paid to speak is we can put our attention on our intention. And my intention was always to be an abundantly paid speaker in the area of South Florida. That means Miami, that means Broward Dade, that means Fort Lauderdale, that means Hollywood, all around. South Beach, all of it. Because that's where I like to vacation. And why not get paid to vacation? So you get there, you speak, you stay an extra day, suddenly you find yourself on vacation. Is that good or good? It's great. It's fantastic. So I wanted to share that with you. In addition, there's some lessons that I learned. When I was speaking, I learned a lot. And I was like, oh my goodness gracious. I have got to write down a list, which I have in front of me, and I am going to literally one by one, not hurt my video recorder, there we go, and share this information with you. So, first thing that happened, because remember I mentioned to you, those of you that have attended my mastermind and be a paid speaker now, that Murphy's Law is true and that things can and do go wrong. However, you are in charge as a keynote speaker. Guess who is in charge of what you want, what you need, what you accept, what you'll tolerate? I hate to say the word tolerate. What you'll accept, it's you. And what I mean by that is because oftentimes meeting planners will want to change things at the last minute. That's right. They'll want to do things a little bit differently. And guess who that affects? You and your speech, right? So it's really important that you have boundaries and are clear. Let me give you an example. So I'm the kind of speaker, I don't know about you, that doesn't need a PowerPoint. I don't care if I'm talking to one person or 1,000 people. I am the PowerPoint. And when I spoke for Procter & Gamble, they understood that. They didn't even ask me for a PowerPoint. They're like, you know what? We know you're the Synergizer Bunny. We know you've got energy to bring it on home. And we do not expect you to be the PowerPoint. And guess what? I bring it. I bring it home, right? I give it to them. However, when I was speaking recently, the meeting planner they emailed me the day before the event. I had just gotten there the night before. I got there. Oh, here's another tip. I got there the day before I was supposed to speak. The day before. So usually if I'm speaking on Friday, I'll come on Thursday. But the problem is when you're going from West Coast to East Coast, it's 8 hours. Plus a time difference, which means that you're not going to be able to sleep. Because going to bed at 10 p.m. would be 7 p.m. and your body's not going to be tired. So I came the day before, Wednesday, so I could acclimate to the time zone, rest up, and be able to be on it. So here I am thinking, I'm well ahead of the game. I've got this covered. I've learned from all of my challenges in the past. And guess what? I'm sitting there, preparing my speech, just reading over it one more time. And guess what happens? The email says, where's your PowerPoint? And I'm thinking in my head, we've had like 25,000 emails. I'm exaggerating, right? Maybe like 20 emails going back and forth for the 6 months that we've been planning this. And I usually, when I have speaking engagements, we'll be going back and forth sometimes for a year, if that's how far the event is ahead. These people were very organized because they gave me bullet points of what they needed from me, my intro, my bio, my headshot, a video that they wanted me to deliver. They gave me all of this information and due dates. So I really appreciated that because I love a to-do list, I love a task list, and I love deadlines. They never said anything like you must have a PowerPoint. In fact, when they asked me, are you having a PowerPoint? I said, no, thank you. I'm good. I'm trying to cut back on PowerPoints. Because technology can go wrong and it, to me, distracts from a presentation. It doesn't add unless it's a very technical presentation or a TED Talk or something and you feel you need it. But I knew I didn't need it, right? I don't need it. So when they asked me, I started second guessing. I'm like, did they not read my email that I wasn't using a PowerPoint, or was there a confusion? Whatever. I started reading my emails. Bottom line is they wanted a PowerPoint. So being Louisa, the people pleaser, I said, sure, no problem. Because do you know what I did? Always have a PowerPoint in your pocket. I had created a PowerPoint for this presentation to make it into a webinar because I was thinking, wow, if this presentation is approved for continuing education units, I could sell it to other organizations, and it doesn't even have to be a keynote speech. It could be a webinar. And I could do multiple events or video record it, et cetera, et cetera. Long story short, I ended up creating a PowerPoint from the webinar. It was practically done. But I also had this divine download. And the divine download was, listen, Deborah, it's easier to book paid speaking engagements when you make the audience your sales team. But how do you make your audience your sales team? Well, on the last slide of the PowerPoint, I said, this is my Oprah moment. Everyone in the audience gets a digital download copy of my book. Now, here's my book, if you don't already know. Ooh la la! Confessions of an Adrenaline Addict. How to be successful without compromising your health and well-being. Boom. Fantastic, right? So here we go. I was going to give them a copy, right? But I said, listen, you have to follow directions. Here is the PowerPoint with the link. And I also gave each one of them, which I'm very grateful I did this, a handout. How many handouts did I make? 175. Why? Because that's how many people they told me when I was getting on the plane to get there. Then I arrived the same day she told me she wanted a PowerPoint. She said, by the way, we sold out. It's not 175, it's 300. I was like, okay. Note to self, go to the business center, make copies. And usually hotels, business centers are costly to make copies. If you're like at a Westin or Marriott or whatever, this was free. I was like, this is fantastic. It was so ease and grace, but I really set the intention for everything to be ease and grace, and I visualized it, and it was. So even though I wasn't expecting to do a PowerPoint, I didn't panic. I went to the bar at the hotel, had a drink, had some dinner, and did the PowerPoint right on the front of the Caribbean Ocean. No, nothing wrong. Then I was like, okay, I need to make copies. No problem, ease and grace. I scheduled an hour window that I would have to make copies. And I know making copies can take 5 minutes, but you always want to schedule more of a window. So I had 2 ways of people getting on my email list. Why? Because in internet marketing and in being an owner of a speaking business, the money is in the list. Where's the money? In the email list, right? In the list. So it's really important that you are conscientious about getting their emails, right? And you want to give them something. So I gave them an entire copy of my book. I usually won't do that. I'll give them the PowerPoint, or I'll give them an audio or a video. But I used my intuitive guidance system, my IGS, and it said give away the entire book. Because giving away the entire book is a marketing strategy also, so that they could see the principles of the book and they're like, oh, we should have her teach time management. Oh, we should have her teach productivity. Oh, we should have her teach leadership communication, whatever it is. It was a marketing tool. However, here's what I learned. Remember, we're doing lessons learned. People, after I was done speaking, had to go to another workshop. So they didn't have time to go to the handout and get on the website. They didn't take a picture of the PowerPoint, so they didn't have it. So what I did, write this down. This is good. This is money, friends. This is money. So what I did was I emailed the organizers today and Monday, right? And I said, even though it's Columbus Day, they were still working. I said, I just want to thank you for having me. I really appreciated it. I enjoyed the audience. And as I promised, I wanted to give everybody a gift of the digital download. Here is the link. Please send it to your people. In addition, here's the PowerPoint. And I designed the PowerPoint so it doesn't have all the information on it. It just has like pictures and highlights. So it's not like someone could steal my PowerPoint and give my talk. Only I can give my talk. But again, it's a marketing piece. Always over deliver when you're speaking. Are you writing these notes down? You picking up what I'm throwing down? So you always over deliver. So psychologically, you always want the meeting planner to think that you're giving so much more. So I gave a great speech. I'm giving away a copy of my book. I'm giving my PowerPoint, which most people don't give. Give, right? Because you're planting seeds for the receiving of those multiple paid speaking engagements. Cool? Cool. In addition to doing that, because I'm a social media goddess, I am a synergizer freak, I did a post on LinkedIn and I tagged the organizer with the PowerPoint. Then you're thinking like, oh my God, you just gave it out to all of LinkedIn can access that. Yes, they can. And I'm not mad if they do. Why? Because that means they're interested in my speaking topic, and that means they're on my email list. Cool, right? Also, on the page that they download the book, there was an invitation to my Costa Rica retreat. So if there was 300 people and 10 people went to www.costarica2018retreat.com or whatever it is, Costa Rica retreat 2018.com. Say they went there, guess what? That's thousands more dollars that is being captured, that is not being left on the table. Ooh, okay. So those were some of the things I did well as well. However, my keynote speaking morning speaker was saying they told him the same thing about the PowerPoint, and he told them not to. He said, own your stage, own your platform, own your confidence. And if you don't normally do a PowerPoint, don't do it. And I will tell you, I'm a seasoned speaker. I've been speaking for 17 years. But if I hadn't been speaking for 17 years, the PowerPoint thing would have thrown me off because I had never done a PowerPoint in a stage like that. And when you're on a stage like that, you are not standing at a podium. You're out on the stage. So how are you going to see what's on the PowerPoint? I literally had to go like this. I had to glance because there's huge screens. And in certain rooms, you wouldn't be able to even see the screens. So you need to have a monitor in front of you that shows you what the PowerPoint is. You see that? You see that? You see that? And because I wasn't used to it, I didn't know that. So he was telling me, next time, just say no. I feel now empowered and confident that I could do a PowerPoint and rock it. Now I know how to do it. You just like click, click, boom, boom. I just didn't let the PowerPoint be the center. I was the center. And if I was making a point about, I was talking about the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain and the cognitive functions because it was for creativity and innovation. So when I was talking about the left side of the brain, I stepped on the left side of the stage. When I was talking about the right side of the brain, I stepped on the right side of the stage. But my right side is the opposite for them, which is good because the brain is the opposite. So subconsciously, I was anchoring them to the desired behavior. But that's high tech. Don't even go there unless you're ready for that. Okay, what else can I tell you? So I followed up. I also recommend, and it's not always possible. So after my speech, there wasn't even time for a book signing. Please ask the organizers when you're speaking, is there time after I speak for book signing? If there isn't, don't bring books. I'm so grateful I didn't bring books. My intuition told me don't bring books, and my intuition was right. Because if I would have spent $1,000 to buy my books, schlepp them, ship them, and then I couldn't sell them, I would be upset because then I would have to bring them home. Very upsetting. So now there are people chasing me down. Deborah, thank you for that digital copy, but I want a hard copy because I want to give it to my daughter. I want to give it to my coworker. I want to give it to my boss, whatever. All the adrenaline addicts in my life. So I was like, cool, give me your business card and I'll send you a link. So, and it's always important for you not to give away business cards. In fact, I brought 1,000. I gave away 3. Why? Because it's your responsibility to follow up within 48 hours of meeting the people. I have to follow up tomorrow. Today was a holiday, so that's why I didn't follow up. But tomorrow I have to follow up. They will forget me. They won't know me. They'll be like, Deborah, who? What? No. Latina speaker? Yeah. What? So it's really, really important that you get their business cards. And ideally, you'll have a salesperson, maybe somebody that you can have work for you on commission, usually 15, 20%. And then you give them those leads to follow up. And then they get money. Every time you speak, you should get like 5 gigs. That's a good goal. Okay, let's start with 2. But every time you speak, you should get 2 gigs, full paid fee, because you've just showed the audience that you can deliver. You literally showed them. So you don't have to tell them, they already know. They're the ones that are going to advocate to bring you. I had so many people say, oh, I want to bring you to train my staff. I want to bring you to my retreat. I want to have you do this, blah, 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 blah. You can't let that go. That's money. You got to get that money and collect it. Okay, what else? Okay. Oh, one of the things that I could improve on that hopefully you will learn. Do you hear my voice right now? Those of you that know me know this is a little raspy voice. Why? Because I was screaming on the mic. Okay, so it's a huge room, and there's a tendency when there's a lot of people in a big room to want to speak louder. You don't have to. You have an audio visual guy. Your AV guy is always your best friend. That's the first person I smile at, flirt with, say hello to, thank, right? So the AV guy is going to do a microphone check. Once your microphone is checked, it's the AV's guy's responsibility to make sure that people can hear you. Don't do what I do and over talk. You'll get a voice like this. It's froggy. It's not good, okay? So be mindful of that. I was over projecting and I'm paying the price. Need some lemon. What else can I talk to you about? Okay, the other thing. So you have your speech, right? You're always going to learn something new. I love when I go to conferences to attend other keynote speakers before me so I can listen and hear when I'm sitting at the table with them, how they think, how they feel, how they receive information, how they deflect information, how they interact with the speaker, etc. It gives me the personality of the audience so that I can flex when I go to speak. It's so helpful. Do they respond when you do the call? Do they talk? Whatever. So one of the things I learned from the other speaker is he was so masterful about giving examples that were relevant to the industry. Why? He actually worked in their industry. He had a great advantage because he was a human resource manager, talking to human resource managers. He's also a football player. So he was using all these game strategy examples. So you have to make sure that when you're telling stories, that even if it's a personal story, the moral of the story is focused on the audience's pains and problems and creates a solution for their everyday challenges. Does that make sense? So it's, you could speak to on the same topic, say you're doing STEAM or say you're doing epigenetics, that's cool, mindset for success, all great. But whatever organization or association you're speaking to, customize the stories so it applies to them. So if you don't know what the pains and the problems that they're going through on a daily basis, that's when you use the pre-event questionnaire that you got from me if you attended my mastermind, might be a paid speaker, because that's what's going to give you that information. Cool? Awesome sauce. Okay, fantastic. What else can I tell you? Oh my goodness. So the other thing I wanted to tell you was the keynote speaker before me, I was very grateful because he was giving me feedback on what he liked and what he thought I could improve, which I told you so far. And then he also was telling me how he got speaking engagements. I was like, tell me more. He said he hired somebody from Upwork or Fiverr. I can't remember which one he said. And he had them gather emails from meeting planners, and he would send out 50 emails a day with his sizzle reel, with his speaking topics, about him page, maybe like a cover page of a book. And from that, that's how he got speaking engagements, through emailing. Wow! Pretty darn cool, right? Back in my day, we were mailing VHS tapes, and he was telling me how he was emailing and paying somebody $4 an hour to do that. Not bad. Okay, what else? What else can I tell you? Oh, another good one. On your speaker's website, be sure that you only have information on your speaking. If you're a doctor, don't have information about how to book you, how to become a new patient. If you're a coach, don't have information on how to coach with you. Unless it's part of your speaking upsell, only have your speaking, because it's very distracting when you're a meeting planner and you want to go to your website to find out, what does she do? You want to have social proof, your logos of places you've spoken before. You want to have videos of you actually speaking. Not too many, but a few. You want to have testimonials, and then of course the 50-word about your bio and picture and all that stuff. So you just want to make sure you have that. Also, you want to have a contact form so that people can contact you to see about your availability, ask them to put their budget, etc. So that's really what I wanted to tell you. I'm super excited because this week I am starting the Synergy Speaker Mastermind. And the Mastermind group helps you with topics like this to be paid to speak. So if you are interested in that, definitely message me. You can text me at 310-945-5651, 310-945-5651. We meet twice a month via Zoom, and right from the comfort of your own room, your living room, your boardroom, wherever you are. And it's just really a joy because I just feel so happy. Like when you do what you love and you love what you do, you're going to love rocking the house, because people come up to you, and I didn't tell people about my spiritual background or anything, but people that are connected spiritually could feel it. So they came up to me and they said, wow, I felt like God was speaking through you. And that was my prayer, that God speak through me, and that it was a transformational experience, and that the people were receptive and able to implement the tools and strategies to transform their life. And that's what I left with. Even beyond the payment, which was really good, I left with the feeling that I was fulfilling my soul's contract, that I was on purpose, and that I was awakening people. That's what really made me excited, that I was awakening people, that they were awake, aligned, and aware to a new way of being and living their lives. And that's why I do speaking. That's why I do the mastermind coaching groups. That's why I created the Be a Paid Speaker Now Academy. Everything I do is for that. So for those of you that are not ready to be paid to speak, but you're interested in just having more confidence in speaking, I also have a membership community that's called Ignite Your Speaking, igniteyourspeaking.com. And I do webinars like this a couple times a month. And we have a Facebook group, and I'm just here to support you, to allow your voice to be heard, to be that messenger for the message, and to allow your light that you're shining to really transform lives. So I just appreciate you for listening and being here. I want to remind you that with the power of synergy, anything is possible.